Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Southern Ohio Sports Authority coverage of girls high school volleyball tournament action brought to you by OhioHealth. I'm Mike Smith along with Tom Beard, and this is our wrap-up match for the day. There's still another match to be played later today, which SOSA will keep you caught up on their Twitter site, South Webster and North Adams at 5. But this is our nightcap for the afternoon, if you will. The Zane Trace Pioneers at 19-4 against the Warriors of Adena at 22-2. Tom Beard with us, Mike's side again. And Tom, two SVC teams going head-to-head, which over the years has not been uncommon in district tournament play. But this, I believe, will be the third time in the last 4 years that these two teams have met at this level or a district semifinal, and so far Adena has the edge on Zane Trace, but this group of seniors, I believe 8 of them for Zane Trace, they've been down here 4 years in a row and have come away no better than a runner-up. And I know the determination that the Pioneers team has had throughout the year that this is the year that we're going to do it. Now, during the regular season, Adena was able to get them twice, where in the previous 2 years they split during the regular season. Adena, again, won in 4 sets, both times they played in the regular season. So Zane Trace, they've got a lot of incentive coming into this one to try to say, hey, this is our year to make that next big step.
Yeah, and I think the thing you pointed out about the senior leadership, this is a very, very senior-based team, and they've been around forever, a lot of experience. But again, throughout the season, these have been tight matches, and they could have gone either way. So when you get in those situations, you know, if it goes a different way today, then that could mean good things for Zane Trace. If Adena holds serve and do the things that they can do, then again they'll come away. But it's one to watch. I think this is a real matchup, and if it's not a really close match, I'll be shocked. But a lot of good talent on both sides of the net.
Yeah, in their second matchup over at Frankfort this year, Adena won that 3-1, but each set, as Tom said, could have gone either way. It was 25-23, 25-20 Adena, then Zane Trace 22-25, and then Adena won 25-22. So no more than 5 points in any of those sets. You know, that's just one of those things. You look at 3-1, if you don't know what the set scores were, you would think, well, that was an easy, well, it was not.
Yeah.
So Zane Trace, I think, has shown in the last half of the season that they have really progressed in some of the areas that, frankly, they struggled with a little bit earlier in the season, like with serve receive. And that's one of the things that's going to come down to. I think Adena will try to continue to serve tough at them. Zane Trace didn't handle that well in the previous 2 matches. But I think if Zane Trace can clean up their serve receive, it could really turn this whole thing on its head.
Well, and it's one of those things when you're talking about this kind of a game, a matchup in volleyball, you know, losing focus for a little while can make all the difference in the world. Even a bad call one way or the other, or a break, a good break, a bad break, simple things like that can make the difference of the outcome. So whenever you've got these two teams that are so closely talented, it makes a difference. And when you look overall size, I think you really got to give the edge somewhat to Zane Trace. And when it comes to senior leadership, they definitely have more seniors out there actively playing than what Adena has.
Very comparable statistically speaking. Adena, Sid Fogelsong, their leading attacker with 340 kills. Hannah Burns, another senior with 239. Brindley Preston, a junior, she has 145. Those are the only Adena players with triple-digit kills. Zane Trace, of course, led by a Player of the Year, SVC Player of the Year, Lexi Scott, with 403 kills. Then Alexis Farley with 202, and Micah Henniger with 121. So those are the 3 from each team that lead the way. But it's those other players. We were talking about this out in the cafeteria before the match. Sometimes in these kind of matches, it's the also players that maybe you're not talking a lot about in the pregame or, you know, at the table side that do things to step up that make the difference in a contest.
Right. They come in and they've taken what they've learned throughout the year, and it's their opportunity. And a lot of times the opposing team are not playing them as tight as they would somebody else or not avoiding them like somebody else. And when you get in that situation, that's when those people can float to the top and do the job. So, again, I think both teams got to bring the A game, and if someone decides to bring the B game, that person will go home the loser.
In our first matchup of the day, which was Wheelersburg sweep over Southeastern, we mentioned that Wheelersburg was the number 1 overall seed in the Southeast District. Adena, the number 2 overall seed. Zane Trace was the number 4 seed behind South Webster, who's number 3. They're playing that 5 o'clock match later today. Again, we're not broadcasting that, but we'll have updates on Southern Ohio Sports Authority Twitter throughout that particular match. Let's take a look at the rosters for both teams. For Zane Trace, again under Coach Cindy Davis, 19-4 on the season. Nevaeh Woodward, a senior, 5'4" defensive specialist. Reagan Hill, another defensive specialist, a 5'7" senior. Haley Dolan, 5'6" junior. Delaney Berry, she's one of the setters in this 6'2" offense, but they will play all the way around. She'll also be an attacker when she gets to the front row, 5'8" senior. Lexi Scott, outside hitter. She'll also serve and generally play all the way around, 5'11" senior. Alexa Braden, 5'9" senior. Gracie McCullough, who was the SVC Defensive Player of the Year. Gracie is the libero, a 5'8" senior. Alexis Farley, a middle hitter, 5'9" senior. Kendra Detillion, outside hitter, a 5'7" junior. Kaylee Johnson, a middle hitter, 5'10" freshman. Lainey Scott, she is an outside hitter, sophomore, 5'8". Maddie Mash, middle blocker, a 5'10" sophomore. Micah Henniger, middle hitter, 5'9" junior. Annie Scott, junior, 5'4". And Kenley May, who was the other setter in that 6'2" offense, she too will play front row. Although she is not the designated setter at that time, she is a 5'8" senior. For Adena, they'll be going with Brenna Bossert, a 5'4" junior defensive specialist. Senior Brenna McQuina, 5'6", defensive specialist. Carly Battle, defensive specialist, a 5'5" senior. Eva Kruger, outside hitter, 5'7" junior. Grace Townsend is the setter in their 5-on offense, a 5'7" sophomore. Elena Rawlings, defensive specialist, 5'3" junior. Brooke Bossert is the libero. She's a 5'4" junior. Katie Burns, outside hitter, freshman, 5'10". Sydney Fogelsong, middle hitter, 6'1" senior. Hannah Burns, outside, 5'8" senior. Brenley Preston, middle hitter, 5'11" junior. Caroline Corcoran, outside hitter, 5'10" junior. Corinne Day, middle hitter, 5'11" sophomore. Haley Howard, defensive specialist, a 5'6" junior. And dressing as their 16th roster player today, Adriana McFerrin. She is a 5'8" sophomore. So those are the roster players for this Division III District Championship. The winner goes to the regionals for the 7:30 match next Thursday at Logan against Wheelersburg. And then the winner of that third match today, South Webster North Adams, they will play the 6 o'clock match that night against the East District champion, which probably the odds-on favor is Byesville Meadowbrook. Typically a Division II team, but they dropped down to Division III this year, and they're an outstanding club. I think they had a 20-2 regular season record. But I'm not sure what time the East District is playing their finals, but it is today. And sometime later tonight we'll get all that information as to how they came out. Because obviously we're going to have a guaranteed SVC winner coming out of here to move on to the regional play. As we told you in our first broadcast earlier in the day in Division II, Unioto fell to a very tough New Lexington club in 3. So these two teams here represent the last of the SVC volleyball teams still playing.
But it was amazing, you know, you have that many SVC teams in conference, in championships, district championships. It just speaks well of what's going on in the league, which has been going on a long time.
Well, when we come back, we'll be getting close to first serve between Adena and Zane Trace. You are watching Ohio High School Tournament Volleyball on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here. or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
Because of the COVID stuff, but yet they're still, so they're not in favorable, they're not in a favorable view by a lot of coaches and administrators right now. Right. Mike Smith, Tom Beard, back with you. The lineups for both clubs are going to be announced here. This was a separate session. They cleared the gym after each, so we will have the national anthem played before each of the matches here today. And that's coming up right now. Our Star Spangled Banner. Mike Smith and Tom Beard back with you. Something we were kind of chatting about during the break there, not to get too controversial, but some of the policies the OHSAA has had here in recent years under very extremely difficult circumstances with COVID. But I was really, I don't know, I shouldn't say I was surprised, but I guess maybe a little surprised at how many people were expressing this. At the football game I was at last night, how many people are really very unhappy with the 16-team football playoff format.
Correct.
And if you look through a lot of the games that were played last night, most of them, I'd say probably 70% of them at least, had the continuous clock going on in the second half. And I don't know the parity. I know for a team that gets in, like Huntington, that maybe, they made their first playoff appearance in school history because of the expanded format. They'd probably be on the exact opposite side of the issue that sure. I am. But when you have the State Football Coaches Association writing a blistering letter to the OHSAA saying, we don't want this. And I just don't know if it's something that they're digging their heels in on, or if it's something that they may change their mind on down the road.
Well, change is always tough, and time will tell whether or not it's going to be successful with the way they've planned it at this time.
And Dan Ramey and I were talking about this last night, and some of the logic is, well, the other sports, everybody gets in. But I don't know how you can compare football with any other sport. The violence of the sport, the injuries that football has that no other sport has on a regular basis like that. And 15, 16 weeks of high school football, that's brutal on a young teenage body. Yeah. And I think those are some things, especially with the concussion stuff that has gone from the NFL all the way down to the high school level. That's something that the state's going to have to take a serious look at because it isn't like any other sport.
And even if you go at what you mentioned, the NFL, if you go and look at the NFL and you look at the number of injuries there, and it really has affected, I think, the quality of the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of these pro games have not been very entertaining. And so I think you can reflect that all the way down to the high school level. But the point about the youthfulness, about how much, you got on the line there for young people that can get hurt, they're still growing. Of course, you and I grew a long time after high school. But a lot of those people are still maturing up to 25, 28 years old.
Absolutely.
And so it makes a big, big difference. You've got to take all that into consideration.
As we see on camera, the teams are being announced to the crowd here. St. Trace, speaking of high school football, had a big 56-0 win over Montessori last night, and they're hoping that some of that mojo will rub off on their volleyball team here against arch rival Adena in this district final. Coach Cindy Davis of Zane Trace, Laura Smith of Adena. Of course, those two coaches
faced off a lot, huh?
Well, down to that, but longtime friends, and that's the neat thing, that you can be competitive here, but still be good friends off the court. Traditional handshake, which is something refreshing to see because COVID, it was just wave at them on the other side. Used to, if somebody did that after a match, it was like, oh, yeah?
Yeah, a different, yeah. They threw a flag on that kind of stuff.
How things change, yeah. St. Trace, they're ready to go. They're paw on the ground. They say this is our opportunity to finally make that next big step. I think Pioneers, possibly the last time they were in the regionals when Lori Coker was there back in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. But Cindy Davis wanting to see her club break through this year. And, of course, Adena had a Final Four appearance last year, but they graduated 10 seniors off that club. But the core of seniors, along with youth that they have on this team, they've made it this far after an SVC regular season championship. Okay, Adena looks like they're going to serve first. Brooke Bossert, the libero, will get things started for the Warriors. Best 3 out of 5, 25 win by 2. If a fifth set is needed, it's 15 win by 2. No cap, by the way. You got to win by 2. Here we go. Bossert to serve. Pass by McCullough, out of the middle. Farley with a kill. And a 1-0 start for Zane Trace. Alexis Farley. Alexis struggled in that, actually in both matches they had this year. If she comes on like she's capable, this could be a long day for the Warriors. Back to serve is Reagan Hill. Now the Warriors on the attack, going down the line. McCullough with the dig. Outside attack, Laxey Scott, dug there by Kruger. Now Burns on the left side, cross court for the kill, and we're even at 1.
Yeah, Burns is really tough, and she gets up and has been, she leads the second in kills, but she's a big part of this Adena team.
And Hannah Burns now will go back to serve with a score tied at 1. Tough serve, popped up there by May. Scott, outside attack, goes long out of bounds, hitting air, 2-1 Adena.
Serve and serve receive, I think, is going to be big in this match. I really think it's going to be a big part of it.
Burns again serving with a 2-1 lead.
Tough serve.
Scott on the outside, off the block for the kill. 2-2.
Let's think about Lexi Scott. So much strength, and she has great athleticism. But we've been talking about her for years, and she's just been such a great player over the last 4 years.
2-2 tie. Farley to serve, goes short. McQuinneth pops it up, going outside. That's Kruger going deep, dug up there by Hill, I believe. Free ball over for Zane Trace. Townsend going in the middle to Fogelsong. She's dug up at the overpass, and Fogelsong blocks it down.
Fogelsong with good vision that time. She gave them the power, but when they collapsed on that block, she put the ball right in that corner where it needed to be.
3-2 Adena. Grace Townsend back to serve for the Warriors with a 1-point lead. Pass there by May. And a scramble there. Zane Trace has to free ball. Vogelsong again out of the middle for the kill.
Great set that time. Good set.
Warriors up 4-2. As Townsend still serving with a 4-2 lead. I think Vogelsong had 27 kills in their last match against Trace, and Burns had 18 that day. Popped straight up by Hill. Outside free ball by Zane Trace, and it's free balled out of bounds.
That's 3 free balls, I think, already by Zane Trace. And boy, you just can't, whenever you hear the word free ball, it means what it says. It gives an opportunity to serve a stake up there and let him get it. So tough stuff there.
5-2 Adena. Townsend serves again. Just over the net, popped up. Henniger outside, blocked in play by Adena. Zane Trace has to, well, they tried to free ball it, and it went in the net. 6-2 Adena.
Well, Coach Cindy was going to call timeout there. I think she thought about it. She's, I've seen enough of this.
Not the start the Pioneers wanted here. Down 6-2. Townsend again on the serve. Popped up by the Pioneers. Now Scott out of the middle, and that goes out of bounds, but an Adena blocker was in the net, so that's a kill for Lexi Scott. So the Warriors had a break, but gave it right back to them because they were in the net on the block attempt. And I believe that was Vogelsong. 6-3.
A lot of jitters here early. Again, remember, playing for a championship.
Delaney Berry serving for the Pioneers. Bossert with a pass. Townsend back setting for Vogelsong. Cross court, dug up there. Kept alive. Zane Trace can't get it over. Free balled it in the net. So if you're Cindy Davis, you're looking at a lot of what's happening as some unforced errors. Of course, Adena's putting a tough serve together, but you got to serve receive to get your offense going. Here's Carly Battle on the serve. Popped up. Going back setting for Scott. She goes cross court for the kill. Lexi with 3 kills in the early going, 7-4.
That was a nice set there. She hammered it.
Looks like Lainey Scott, that's Lexi's younger sister, checking in for Reagan Hill.
She was injured during the season, but come back and played really, really well. And I believe she's just a sophomore, or is she a junior?
Lainey is a sophomore.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sister Lexi back to serve. Pioneers down 7-4. Going deep. Bossert pops it straight up. Adena's going to take a roll shot there from Katie Burns, dug up by Scott. Now out of the middle, Henniger. She's dug. Back setting for Katie Burns, dug up there by Barry. Swinging away on the outside. Adena blocks it. Adena 8-4. Might have been Preston on the block there. 8-4 Warriors. Eva Kruger now serving for Adena. Pass by Barry. Going outside, Lainey Scott. Kruger pops it up. Now outside, Hannah Burns on the swing. Dug up there by Lexi Scott. Free ball coming from Zane Trace again. Townsend in the middle, tipped by Preston. Kept alive by Lainey Scott. Now a roll shot by May, kept alive by Adena. Outside, Hannah Burns with a tip. Kept alive by Barry. Zane Trace free ball. Kruger, Townsend, now Preston. Whistle. A net violation against Zane Trace. Point for Adena, 9-4. And Kruger still serving with a 9-4 lead here in the opening set. Eased up on that one, and it's an ace. Dropped right at about the 10-foot line.
Tell you what, serving from Adena has been on so far. They haven't really gotten a lot of aces the very first one, but they've been effective. They've not made a bad serve yet.
10-4. Adena up. It was 7-4, and Adena right now on a 3-0 run. Kruger again serves. Barry with a pass. Going outside, Lainey Scott. Gets off the hands of Kruger, but the Warriors keep it alive. Roll shot by Hannah Burns. Dug up there by May. Out of the middle, Henniger. And that's in. Hit the line. Nice shot by Henniger. Makes it 10-5. Stops the Adena run. Gracie McCullough, who converted to libero after being a front row player for most of her first 3 years. And that's an ace. 10-6. Pioneers cut it to a 4-point deficit. McCullough again with a serve. Popped up by Bossert. Attack on the roll shot. Kept alive. Now they go right back over. Outside attack here by May for the kill. Tooled the blocker. Kenley May with her first kill. 10-7. Adena's 6-point lead down to 3. McCullough still serving.
Nice
Ace.
serve.
10-8. Here come the Pioneers.
Second team ace. She's got both of them.
Pioneers on a run of their own. 4-0. McCullough again. And serves it in the net.
Yeah, but she was being aggressive. And you don't want to take that away. And she's not going to put it in the net every time.
It stopped a 4-0 run. Adena 11-8. And going back to serve is Brenna McQuinness. McQuinness serve. Scott on the pass. Outside Farley. Blocked out of bounds. That's a kill. Let's see Alexis with her second kill. 11-9.
Tell you what, Farley, when she turns it on, she can be tough.
Pioneers within 2. This is May with a serve. Bossert with a pass. Townsend going outside to Hannah Burns. Cross-court shot kill. 12-9 Adena. For Hannah Burns, that's her second kill.
Fogleson back into the front line there.
So of Adena's 12 points, Tom, they only have 4 kills. That tells you Zane Trace was making a lot of errors.
Well, they had a lot of problems on their heels back there getting the ball and play free ball, and that made some mistakes.
Out of the middle, Farley blocked in play, and then it comes back over, and Burns puts it down. Third kill for Burns, 13-9 Adena.
Well, the 5'8 senior has just been what she needs to be with 239 kills for the season. She's a real key.
And Bossert serves it in the net.
First serve mistake they made today.
Error by Adena, 13-10. Zane Trace within 3, and Reagan Hill back in to serve for the Pioneers, replacing Laney Scott. Lexi Scott back on the front row, along with Farley. Hill to serve. Bossert with a pass up to Townsend. Back setting. Hannah Burns. That was tight to the net. Blocked in play. And that won't come back over. 13-11.
That's when those sets are not exactly where they need to be. They can set you up for further problems. And that was an example of it right there.
Both teams taking turns with scoring runs. Adena lead cut to 2. Hill with the serve. Bossert with a pass. Outside attack. Fogelsong popped up there by Scott. Now Scott on the attack, blocked in play by the Warriors. Zane Trace will have to free ball. Townsend in the middle. Fogelsong with a tip kill. They were looking for her to crank on it, and Sydney at the last moment backed off. 14-11 Adena.
Well, you know, that's something she's had to deal with. That finesse shot sometimes throughout the year has not always paid off. But today, it's been a couple of them that's dropped right in.
Hannah Burns with a serve, popped up by Hill. Great effort by Hill just to keep that alive, and a back row attack by Mays in the net. Hitting error, point Adena, 15-11 Warriors. Hannah Burns still serving with the Warriors up again by 4. Tough serve, nice pass, going outside Lexi Scott, and a whistle. That's a kill. It was going to be either way, but Adena was also in the net, but Lexi gets credited with her 4th kill, 15-12.
Whenever Lexi Scott gets the opportunity to get on with it, she can really place the ball.
Farley goes to the back row to serve, with her team trailing by 3. Popped up by McQuinness. Townsend going outside to Kruger. She's dug up there by Hill. Free ball by Zane Trace. Townsend in the middle of Fogelsong, and she hits a missile.
That's Fogelsong, 6'1", and she has really gotten stronger every year. and is really, really doing a great job.
16-12 Adena. Townsend back to serve. Katie Burns back on the front row for the Warriors. Tough serve. Popped up by Hill. Nice pass. Barry going outside to Henniger. Dug back there by the Warriors. Outside attack. Kruger out of bounds. No, they said it was tipped by Zane Trace.
That was tipped.
So a blocker got a hand on it, so Kruger gets her first kill. 17-12 Adena. And Cindy Davis wants to talk about it. Set one, Adena 17, Zane Trace 12. You're watching high school tournament volleyball on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority. Brought to you by OhioHealth.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mike Smith and Tom Beard back with you, and along with our producer Carson Francis and cameraman Christian Spradlin, the guys behind the scenes that make it happen. 17-12 Adena leading here in the opening set. Townsend still on the serve for the Warriors. Adena right now on a 2-0 run after Zane Trace had cut it to 15-12. Deep serve popped up by May. Barry going outside to Henniger. Roll shot dug up by Kruger. Tipped over by Fogelsong. And Zane Trace's setter was in the net. She was backpedaling, and she also got called for a double contact. So it was take your pick on that one. 18-12 Adena. Six-point Adena lead. Townsend still serving. Lets up on that one just a bit. Back setting for Scott. And that's a kill. Lexi Scott, her fifth kill, 18-13. Zane Trace cuts it to 5. Delaney Berry to serve. Short serve. Bossert pops it up. Townsend back setting a Fogelsong. Kept alive by Berry. Now free ball by Zane Trace. Bossert, Townsend, outside to Kruger, and that's a kill.
That's a good set. Come across court. When it started out, you didn't know it was only up with so much success, but ended up being a great set.
19-13. Kruger with her second kill. And now Carly Battle back to serve for the Warriors. Tough serve. Hill. And that's mishandled. 20-13.
This particular first set here, definitely Adena has won the battle with the serves.
Mm-hmm.
They've made a mistake or two, but overall they've been pretty tough.
Battle again to serve. McCullough with the pass. Back setting for Scott. And that's a kill. 6 kills for Lexi Scott, 20-14. Adena lead cut to 6. Battle out, Bossert in. Laney Scott back on the front row for Zane Trace as Lexi Scott goes back to serve. Bossert with the pass. On the attack, Preston dug up back there by McCullough. Roll shot by Zane Trace. Townsend with a dig. Now Kruger outside again. Steep cross-court shot kill.
Yeah, she's feeling it.
21-14, Adena.
Now she gets to go back and show off her serving skills.
Warriors by 7 here in the opening set, 21-14. Kruger serves. Barry with the pass. Outside to Laney Scott. Dug up back there by Kruger. Outside, Hannah Burns. Dug up by Lexi Scott. Now Laney Scott on the attack. Blocked in play by Adena. tight to the net, going deep and out of bounds. Point for the Warriors. Hitting air by Zane Trace, 22-14 Adena. Again, Kruger to serve. Shortened up this time and in the net. Service error by Adena, 22-15. Zane Trace within 7, and Gracie McCullough back to serve. Bossert with a pass up to Townsend. Out of the middle. Preston with a rocket kill. That's the first kill for Preston. 23-15 Adena.
I think it's one of the few opportunities, though, that she's gotten a set like that, but it was a perfect set, and she nailed it.
Timeout, Zane Trace here in the opening set. Adena 23, Zane Trace 15. Mike Smith and Tom Beard with you. If you missed it earlier today, our first broadcast, Wheelersburg beat Southeastern in 3, but a great effort by Southeastern. They were really into those first 2 sets, despite losing 15 and 21, but it just kind of like they ran out of gas in set 3. So
yeah, it sure did.
Wheelersburg, that's their 6th straight SVC champion, or SVC district championship. And Wheelersburg awaits the winner of this match in the regional semis at Logan on Thursday. Also in Division II today, Unioto falling in 3 sets for the district title to New Lexington.
That was a shocker. I thought that would be. It's not so a shocker that they may have not won the match, but you thought it'd be very competitive, and thought they had really good odds on winning it, and then to go down 3-0.
So 23-15 Adena. Brenna McQuinness still at the service line, where she was before that timeout. Adena trying to get on the board with a first set win, but still got 2 to go. May with a pass. Outside. Farley with a kill. Blew it right off the Adena block. That's 3 for Farley, 23-16.
They got Farley 5'9", but she's very strong, and when she gets in a position, she can really hammer it.
Kenley May back to serve for the Pioneers. Bossert with a pass up to Townsend. Outside, Hannah Burns. Dug up by McCullough. Outside, Laney Scott on the attack for the kill. 23-17.
I really think the Adena people thought that ball wasn't going to come back with as much heat she put on it. But Zane Trace with good defense right there.
23-17 the score. May again to serve. Bossert with the pass up to Townsend. Townsend takes it over. Played up by Lexi Scott. Tight to the net. Farley rockets it straight ahead. When you have a middle that goes straight ahead like that, you got to wonder where was your middle blocker, because that's one area of the court you got to take away.
It's kind of like they all left town.
23-18. May to serve. Bossert to pass. Townsend outside, Hannah Burns off the block, dug up there by Scott. Cross court it goes, and the kill by Laney Scott. 23-19. Zane Trace making a run, and now Adena wants to call a timeout. Opening set. Our score: Adena 23, Zane Trace 19. You're listening to High School Tournament Volleyball on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
Carlos. First time setting foot inside a tattoo shop. Second picture his daughter has posted to her story. Third check on his bucket list. And 4 years of cancer-free checkups at OhioHealth.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big...
Mike Smith and Tom Beard back with you. Adena's one-time 8-point lead now down to 4, 23-19. Pioneers trying to battle back in this thing. Adena still needs 2 points to put the set away. May with a serve. Bossert with a pass. Townsend back setting to Preston. Cross court. Dug up there by May. Now Laney Scott with the attack. Dug up by Kruger. Hannah Burns from the outside. Dug up by McCullough. In the middle. Farley with a tip and a kill. 23-20.
Farley's taking advantage of that middle. That time she went over the blockers, but still right in the middle, just beyond the 10-foot line.
Farley with 5 kills. Zane Trace right back in it. Down by 3. They were down by 8. May with the serve. Bossert with a pass. Townsend going outside to Hannah Burns, and a kill off the block. 24-20 Adena.
Burns really extended on that. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know it went over the net, but she hammered it right over the net, and great job.
So now set point for Adena. Bossert passed up by Scott, out of the middle, Farley, and she hits it out of bounds long. Zane Trace contending there was a block at the net or a tip. Nobody on the floor sees it. It's a hitting error, and Adena will win set 1, 25-20. Stay with us. Set 2 is coming up. Ohio High School Tournament Volleyball, brought to you on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority by OhioHealth.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by OhioHealth has to offer by visiting our website at SOSAOhio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's SOSAOhio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Buying a car from the wrong dealership can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yuck!
But it's our mission at Glockner to make car buying a piece of cake.
Hooray!
Maybe it's our fast, friendly sales process, or that we don't play games with the numbers we show you. You'll get a detailed proposal with full disclosure on your purchase that makes sense. No tricks or hidden fees. Plus, stop by any Glockner location for a 15-minute KBB vehicle appraisal, and we'll give you big cash for your vehicle same day, even if you don't buy one from us. And for this month only, new and pre-owned vehicle buyers get their first oil change for free. That's piece of cake car buying. We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Mike Smith and Tom Beard back with you. 25-20. Adena over Zane Trace in the first set. But Tom, as we were chatting in the break, you take away a slow start by Zane Trace, and Zane Trace probably wins that first set.
Well, and again, this shot, kind of echoes what's been going on all year when you look at the scores when these two teams meet up. So it's not unusual that you would see exactly what happened there. But as we talked earlier, you lose focus for just a little bit. You just get out of sync for just a little bit. When you're that close, and if the other team's not making those kind of mistakes, that makes a difference in the set. And that's kind of what happened. Adena was very effective on serving that time and throughout the match, really. And they passed the ball pretty well. So the mistakes at the free balls that we had early in that set by Zane Trace really come back to hurt them.
Statistically, in that first set, Fogelsong and Hannah Burns with 4 kills each. Eva Kruger had 3. For Zane Trace, Lexi Scott with 6. Alexis Farley with 5. Laney Scott, Micah Henniger, and Kenley May with 1 apiece. Brindley Preston for Adena had 1 kill in that first set.
And, we were talking about serving. Team serves. Zane Trace won that. They had 2, both by Gracie McCullough. And Adena had 1 by Eva Kruger. So, but again, aces don't always reflect whether you're doing a good or bad job serving the ball. And overall, Adena did get the ball in play with some tough serves.
Zane Trace will be serving first here in the second set. And that is going to be Reagan Hill to get things started for the Pioneers. Adena up 1-0. Here we go in set 2. Hannah Burns popped her pass straight up. Outside Fogelsong off the block attempt. And then Zane Trace on the pass. It went over the net and out of bounds. So an error by the Pioneers gives Adena a 1-0 lead.
Tough one for Lexi Scott to handle that time.
Hannah Burns back to serve for the Warriors. Early in set 2.
Wow.
Tough
serve.
That ball was a rocket right over the net, and it dropped right in front of Reagan Hill. 2-0.
If you measure the distance the ball's going over that net, that ball is so close to the net, it's hard to handle those.
Burns again on the serve. Going deeper this time, and May can't handle it. It's an ace. 3-0 Adena.
The ability of being able to deliver the changeup, and that's what they did there. But that ball would have been long had she let go, but still, you're there to hit the ball.
3-0. Burns again on the serve.
Tough serve.
Tight to the net. A joust there. Kept alive by the Warriors. Townsend outside to Kruger. Cross-court kill. Eva Kruger with her 4th kill. 4-0 Adena to start set 2. You were talking about that ball being high. It's almost like when the ball's coming right at you that high, it's like, do I get out of the way or what do I do here? Another tough serve. Outside, Scott with a roll deep. Bossert with a dig. Out of the middle, Fogelsong with a tip. Dug up there by the Pioneers. Tip deep. Bossert plays it up for the Warriors. Now, that's Kruger. Blocked in play. Dug up there by Lexi Scott. Now the Pioneers have to free ball. Fading away. Kruger going deep. Reagan Hill with a dig. Scott on the outside with the attack. Kept alive by the Warriors. And Kruger, who actually made the original dig, getting up off the floor and couldn't get it over the net. 4-1.
And the thing about that, she could have free-balled that ball, but she was aggressive and attacked it. It didn't quite make it by the net, but you got to give her an A for effort.
Farley with the serve. McQuiniff with the pass. Outside, Kruger swinging away. That one's out of bounds. Hitting error by Kruger. 4-2. Pioneers back to within 2.
Well, Fogelsong's in it for Adena, and when she's on that front line, you normally got to take advantage of it. So we'll see if they try to get her set up a little bit here.
There's a mishandle by the setter, Grace Townsend. Double contact, 4-3.
Too excited to get that set. Kind of fobbled the ball a little bit.
More times than not, it is footwork that's you're not getting to the ball in time. Farley with a short serve. Now out of the middle, Fogelsong hit it in the net. We're tied at 4. So Adena's 4-0 start has vanished. 4-4. Alexis Farley with a serve. Townsend outside to Kruger. Hit the net and fell in.
Kruger's really been effective.
5 kills for Kruger. Adena with a 5-4 lead. Townsend will go back to serve. Warriors up 1-0 and leading 5-4 in the second. Hill misplayed the reception. It'll be a free ball by Zane Trace. Townsend in the middle to Fogelsong and a kill by Fogelsong.
She drilled that one.
That's her 5th kill. Adena back up by 2, 6-4. Pardon me. Townsend to serve again. 2-point Adena lead. Shank by May. That's an ace. 7-4 Adena. So the Pioneer serve receive still struggling.
Townsend with that ace.
And when, as we were talking in the first set, when the Pioneers have had trouble, whether it was an ace or a bad serve receive, that's what's getting them out of system. Townsend again with a serve. This is going to be another Zane Trace free ball. In the middle, Fogelsong. Kill. 6 for Fogelsong, 8 for Adena. So both teams have taken turns at scoring runs. 4-0 Adena, 4-4, and now 8-4 Adena.
The thing about it is Adena's been in a position where they've been able to lead the pack on that. They've been ahead of the game where Zane Trace is playing behind.
Townsend serve. Hill pops it up. It's another Zane Trace free ball, but it was misplayed by Fogelsong.
She said, my bad. And she was right about that.
Yeah.
She made a mistake, and she owned up to it.
Free ball that was low, and Fogelsong tried to take it with her hands and misplayed it, 8-5.
Well, it's harder for a girl 6'1" to handle that.
Fogelsong gets it on the back row, back attack, and she hits it out of bounds long. Zane Trace back to within 8-6. So 2 errors in a row by Fogelsong. It's the Pioneers within 2. Delaney Berry to serve. Bossert up to Townsend. Back row attack by Burns, kept alive by May. Warriors scrambling at the net, and Fogelsong
got into the net, I think.
Yeah, she was in the net.
Made a great play, but got into the net.
But the ball was so tight she was trying to get up there to play it over, and got in the net. 8-7. So Zane Trace now on a 3-0 run. Townsend chases it down. This will be a free ball by Adena this time. McCullough, Barry, outside to Scott. Dug up by Burns. Kruger hits it wide out of bounds. We're tied at 8. 8-8 timeout for Adena. Warriors up 1-0, but in set 2, Zane Trace 8. Adena 8. Mike Smith and Tom Beard with you here from Waverly High School, Division III District Championship. So it's been kind of like, okay, it's your turn to go on a run now.
Well, it's a good match. It's been a good match, but we expected it to be that, and it's proven out to be just that. So free balls. We talked about free balls, and of course, that's one thing you don't want to serve up is free balls. And I think when you look at that battle, Adena's won that too. Zane Trace has made more mistakes and got caught in the free ball situation. So those little things, again, equate to the way things sometimes finish up.
So we're deadlocked at 8 here in set 2 as Zane Trace obviously wanting to draw even after losing the first set 25-20.
Well, we've seen that happen. If they can't draw even, that's puts you in a real tight spot. But over the years, we've watched it change. We've seen people finish the one regional, I think it was, and who was the team was playing that year?
Bloom Carroll.
Bloom Carroll. And thought the match was over, but Adena didn't realize that it was, and they went on to win it.
Well, and that happened 2 years ago at Frankfurt. Adena won against this team the first 2, and then Zane Trace came back and won the next 3.
So it's not over till it's over. Somebody famous said that.
Yeah, somewhere.
It wasn't me, I remember that.
On the attack, dug up by Hill. Another free ball by Adena that Zane Trace that almost fell in. Now Kruger with the attack, dug up by McCullough. Now Scott on the attack, and she finds the opposite sideline for the kill. 9-8 Zane Trace.
Now when you're athletic, just like she is, you can do things like that. And she sees the court, placed the ball in a perfect spot.
Pioneers right now on a 5-0 run. 9-8 lead. Bossert up to Townsend, going back to Fogelsong, and she gets the kill off the block. 9-9 for Fogelsong. That's her 7th kill. Scott has 6 to lead Zane Trace. Carly Battle in the serve with it tied at 9.
Effective. She's been very effective here to close out the season as a senior. That time a little long.
A little long out of bounds. 10-9 Zane Trace. And now Lexi Scott rotates to the back row where she's serving with the Pioneers up by 1. Tough serve. Back setting, that's Kruger. Going the opposite direction. She's been hitting from the left side, got it from the right side that time. Hits her 6th kill.
Yeah, she's had a nice match.
10-10.
It's not only when you get those kills, or not that you get a kill, but it's when you get the kill. And they were down 1, tied it up, and big time.
10-10 tie, and Kruger to serve. Laney Scott on the outside attack, blocked in play by the Warriors, and then dumped over by May. Kinley did a great job getting up there on that overpass and put it down. 11-10 Zane Trace.
May's another senior, 5'8" senior.
McCullough to serve. Townsend going outside to Hannah Burns. Blocked, kept the, it's going to be a block for a point.
Good
May
hustle.
again.
Good hustle by Botsert there, but just couldn't quite get it down.
Biggest lead for Zane Trace here in this set at 12-10 after they were down 8-4. Adena pops it straight up. They have to free ball. Barry, May, Farley. Kill! Boy, they're finding that edge line. Alexis with 6 kills, 13-10 Zane Trace.
Well, that's what the people come to see. Tight match, and right now, Zane Trace winning the battle here in the second set.
McCullough the serve. Another pop-up on the pass, straight up in the air. Barry outside Laney Scott, roll shot. Townsend with a dig. Preston off to Hannah Burns, hits the net and drops.
Well, those are the kind, man, can really just kill you because they have such the flight is so unusual. It's hard to judge the ball.
13-11, Zane Trace lead cut to 2. But where Zane Trace was struggling on their serve receive, Adena has been struggling on theirs. When that ball is popped straight up in the air, that's not what you want in a serve receive. You want it going to the target, to the setter. McCullough with a pass. Now, Alexis Farley just out of bounds long. It was close, but the referee saw space between that and the back line. 13-12.
Just had a good match so far and been real effective.
McQuinnif with the serve.
Wow.
McCullough. Now Farley with a tip. McQuinnif with the dig. Preston on the inside. Kill. Going to the corner. Preston with her second kill. We're tied at 13.
But you know, both her kills was kind of very unique times, and that was a big one.
So the Warriors on a 3-0 run of their own right now to tie it at 13, and McQuinnif to serve for the Warriors. Scott, May, Laney Scott on the tip, kept alive by Kruger. Now out of the middle, Preston, wide out of bounds. Adena hitting error, point for Zane Trace. Pioneers back up 14-13. May back to serve for Zane Trace. Bossert with a nice pass up to Townsend, going outside to Hannah Burns for the kill. 14 all. Burns with 6 kills. Kind of had some pace on that one.
Yeah, Pugles on back to the front row.
Brooke Bossert to serve. Scott with a nice pass. In the middle, Farley. Dug up by McQuinnif. Townsend outside. Tipped there by Burns. Kept alive by May. Laney Scott dug up on a diving effort by Brooke Bossert. Another roll shot by Adena. Back setting for Barry. She hit it in the net. Zane Trace hitting error gives Adena a 15-14 lead. Bossert serving for the Warriors with a 1-point lead, and it just hit the top of the net. Service error, 15 all. It's like she was trying to go short that time. Reagan Hill to serve for the Pioneers, even at 15 all. The Warriors won the first set.
Tell you what, those short runs, though, are a lot tougher to judge oftentimes than putting a hammer on it.
Tough serve, kept alive by the Warriors. Roll shot by McQuinnif. McCullough, May, outside Lexi Scott, blocked in play by the Warriors. Scott again, and that one's kept alive. Roll shot by Farley, dug up by Townsend. Outside, Hannah Burns off the block.
Yeah, Burns turning on.
Big rally there. Both teams playing good defense to keep it alive, and then Burns with a kill for Adena's 16-15 lead. Now Burns back row to serve. Warriors by 1. Tough serve. Nice pass by May. Back setting for Farley. Out of bounds long. Point Adena. 17-15 Warriors.
She was falling back on that. Whenever you're falling back, you have a tendency to hit the fly ball. It's kind of like hitting a baseball underneath it instead of getting the solid part of the ball. That's kind of what that ball just took off like.
Hannah Burns with a serve and a 2-point lead.
Wow.
Just got over the net. Hill kept it alive. Now, roll shot by Scott. Out of the middle, Fogelsong with a tip after it looked like she was going to hammer it and dropped that short little Ephus ball in there. We have a timeout. Warriors up 1-0, and in set 2, Adena 18, Zane Trace 15. You're watching high school tournament volleyball on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
Mike Smith and Tom Beard back with you in set two. Adena up 18-15. Zane Trace had taken a lead of as many as 3, but the Warriors have battled back and have a 3-point lead. That's after Zane Trace had battled back from a 4-point deficit earlier on. Hannah Burns on the serve, in the net. Point for Zane Trace, 18-16. Those are ones you don't want to miss coming out of that timeout.
But, you get a bonus there when you call that timeout. Sometimes they call timeout just for the purpose.
Yeah.
That particular time they called the timeout, but the results was good for them.
Kruger on the attack, dug up by Hill. Outside, Lexi Scott off the block for the kill. 18-17, 7 kills for Scott. So that timeout by Cindy Davis looking big right now. Farley to serve, Pioneers within 1. McQuiniff with the pass, out of the middle, here's Fogelsong, dug up by May. Tight to the net, taken over. McQuiniff plays it up. Outside Kruger, blocked in play, and then it came right back, and Fogelsong put it down.
Well, when you're 6'1", you've got the strength that she has. She made a nice move there and put that ball right at the 10-foot line.
9 kills for Fogelsong. Adena 19-17 lead, and Townsend to serve. Warriors lead at 1-0. Hill pops it up. Outside for Henniger. She has to push it over with 2 hands. In the middle, Fogelsong. Kill. Went off the block. 20-17 Adena. That's 10 kills for Fogelsong. So after the Pioneers had gotten within 1, Adena stretches it back out to 3. Townsend serve, nice pass by May, tight to the net, taken over, and a great job by Delaney Berry to find the opening in the corner.
She acts like she'd been doing that for 25 years. She put that ball perfectly right where she needed to.
20-18, first kill by Delaney. Now she goes back to serve. Burns on the pass. Townsend outside to Kruger, swinging away. Dug up there by Scott. Roll shot by Zane Trace. Dug by Bossert. In the middle, Fogelsong. Kill. It's almost like she is getting such elevation, Tom. It's just like, I'm going to decide where I'm going to pick to hit it in the last minute.
Well, that net's 7'4", and she's 6'1", so she can get up there and kind of look the area over, and she's got good vision.
Carly battle to serve. 21-18, Adena lead. Hill pops it up. Zane Trace out of system. They have to free ball over. Back, nope. That's Brindley Preston on the tip and the kill.
I saw my teammate do that a while ago. I'm going to give it a shot.
And now Zane Trace wants to use their final timeout. Adena up 1-0 and leading 22-18 here in set 2. Don't forget to keep checking Southern Ohio Sports Authority, their Twitter, also website for updates. There's so much sports going on this time of year, not only with football. They've got volleyball tournaments. They've got soccer tournaments going on. Cross-country regionals today. Greg Biggin on the radio here was just telling us that his granddaughter, Maddox, qualified for the state meet. Congratulations to her. And I'm sure there's some other area athletes. We'll get all that information for you later on today. 22-18 Adena trying to take a 2-0 lead in this match if they can pull this out. But Zane Trace, every time, Tom, that they've gotten behind here in this match, they've battled back to either get within one or even take a brief lead.
And, you know, that's the thing. They have been up in this second set, but overall they've been playing from behind. And, again, that's not a good place to constantly be because as the score creeps up here, it makes it tougher to get back in it.
Carly battled to serve out of the timeout. Nice pass by May. Back setting for Lexi Scott. Dug up there by Townsend. Ava Kruger dug up there by McCullough. Now Henniger. And that went off the block and falls for the kill. 22-19. Micah Henniger with her second kill. Pioneers back within 3, and Lexi Scott rotates to the back row. Here's Lexi serve, trailing by 3. Townsend outside to Katie Burns. Dug up there by Laney Scott. Tight to the net. Zane Trace had no play. 23-19 Adena.
They've had some issues back there in the back row. In those situations, it's awkward. You're that far back. And sometimes things happen when you try to perfect that shot.
Alexa Braden just subbed in for Zane Trace, and then Eva Kruger served it in the net. 23-20. Till you get that momentum, and you just can't let it slip away from you on an unforced error. Gracie McCullough to serve, down by 3. Fawcett with a pass up to Townsend. Out of the middle. Preston, rocket dug up by McCullough, but nobody went for the second contact.
Well, you know, we talk about spectator sports, but when you are a player, you don't want to become a spectator. In that particular time, that's kind of what happened. They kind of watched the ball, but no one went after it.
Set point for Adena, 24-20 on the Preston kill. Gracie did a great job keeping it alive, but nobody went to set it. McQuinnif with the serve. Now this will be a free ball by Zane Trace.
This could be it.
Townsend, second person through. Burns dug up by McCullough. Outside it goes. Deep. Kept alive, but it won't come back. Nice shot there by Zane Trace. Cut it to 24-21.
Yeah, Kruger had a rough time with that one. She almost made a lift on that, but she was able to get it in play.
This is May to serve. Zane Trace within 3, but it's still set point. Bossert with a pass. Outside to Hannah Burns. Blocked by Farley. 24-22.
Farley said, we're not done yet. We need a few more points.
Now Adena wants to use a timeout, leading 1 set to none, and 24-22 in set 2. You are watching the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mike Smith and Tom Beard, 24-22. Adena set point. But Zane Trace is on a 2-0 run, trying to battle back to stay alive in the second set. Again, May to serve. Bossert with a pass. Townsend back setting to Preston, swinging away. Dug up by McCullough. May going outside, and a kill! Kendra Detillion. 24-23. Within 1. May again to serve. Still set point. Bossert with a pass. Outside to Hannah Burns with a tip. Played alive there by Zane Trace to keep it in play. Adena has to free ball over deep. McCullough with the play. Out of the middle. Farley. Kill! 24 all. And we go the extra distance because now, win by 2, you got to go more than 26. 4-0 run by Zane Trace. They fought off 4 straight set points. May again to serve. Tipped over by Townsend. Tight to the net. Blocked by Adena.
Wow.
Preston was up there to put it down. 25-24, Adena again. Set point. Bossert to serve. And that is going to be an ace by Bossert to win the second set 26-24 after Zane Trace had battled off 4 straight set points. Adena now up 2-0, and it's a now must-win situation in set 3 coming up for the Pioneers. You are watching Ohio High School Tournament Volleyball on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by OhioHealth has to offer by visiting our website at SOSAOhio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's SOSAOhio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Buying a car from the wrong dealership can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yuck!
But it's our mission at Glockner to make car buying a piece of cake.
Hooray!
Maybe it's our fast, friendly sales process, or that we don't play games with the numbers we show you. You'll get a detailed proposal with full disclosure on your purchase that makes sense. No tricks or hidden fees. Plus, stop by any Glockner location for a 15-minute KBB vehicle appraisal, and we'll give you big cash for your vehicle same day, even if you don't buy one from us. And for this month only, new and pre-owned vehicle buyers get their first oil change for free. That's piece of cake car buying. We make it easy at Glockner.com.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mike Smith and Tom Beard back with you here at Waverly High School. Division III District Championship. Adena has won the first 2, 25-20, 26-24. Great comeback there by Zane Trace, down 24-20. Scored 4 in a row to tie it, and then Adena gets a nice play at the net and then an ace to end it.
Well, the thing about that is, you can see you're confident you can play with this team, but you got to have another level of confidence to beat and win. And they just can't quite get over that mountain up to this point, and they've had that trouble throughout the season. So it can be a double whammy there. It can be good, and then all of a sudden it can go the other way. So, but there's no doubt these two teams are very, very talented and very close in talent.
Again, remind you that last year, Adena, during the regular season, had a 2-0 lead at Frankfort, and Zane Trace came back and won that match. So they know what it takes to get there. Third set, Adena with the serve. Back setting for Detillion, and a block by Fogelsong. 1-0 Adena.
Every set started out this way with Adena, being able to get out there and get on it.
Brooke Bossert with the serve. Tough serve. Well, bad second contact on Zane Trace. Point Adena. 2-0 Warriors.
Cindy Davis takes a seat and she says, "Come on, girls."
Brooke Bossert again with the serve. Just got over the net, kept alive by the Pioneers. Now the Warriors coming back at him, and that's Fogelsong for the kill. 12 for Fogo, 3-0 Adena. So the Warriors out. They got a 4-0 start last set, and St. Trace came right back on them. So let's see what happens here. Lexi Scott with a nice pass up to May. Now a roll shot by Farley. Townsend back setting for Fogelsong. Dug up there by Lexi Scott, but Zane Trace still has to free ball. Townsend, Fogelsong in the middle. Kill. 4-0 Adena.
You can't let Fogelsong get in that position because, again, this girl's athletic. She's strong. I mean, she's looking at shot put and those kind of things in college. So this girl, she can hammer.
Bossert with the serve. Lexi Scott with the pass. Now out of the middle. Farley dug up by the Warriors off the block. Now Fogelsong with a roll shot deep. McCullough with the dig. DeTillion off the block. Dug up by Burns. Now Burns gets it back on the attack and a kill off the block. 8 kills for Hannah Burns, and the Warriors out to a 5-0 start here in set 3.
And Coach Davis is not sure what to do. She understands that she needs these timeouts, but when you're down 5, you might want to do it. You don't want to pull that trigger, but
Bossert with a tough serve. Nice pass by McCullough. Kruger with a dig on the back row. Now Hannah Burns on the outside. Cross-court kill.
I think she's got to call timeout.
Wow, that was a difficult angle for Hannah Burns to go back from the 10-foot line and hit that steep of a shot. 6-0 Adena.
She didn't call it. Good shot.
Brooke Bossert again with the serve. Deep. Off the hands, a free ball by the Pioneers. Hannah Burns on the outside with a tip. Dug up by May. Now Kendra DeTillion on the outside. Off the net for a kill. That's 2 for Kendra.
Tell you what, that particular point right there was better than a timeout probably. And kind of clear the air. They're still down 5, but that was they
stop
needed
the bleeding type of
yeah, they
kill
needed
there.
it. They needed it bad.
6-1. Reagan Hill with the serve for the Pioneers. Bossert up to Townsend. Back setting for Burns. Kept alive by the Pioneers. Now out of the middle. Farley swinging away. And that's a kill. Tooled the blocker. Alexis with 8 kills. Cuts the Adena lead to 6-2. Reagan Hill still serving. 6-2 Adena lead. Up 2-0. Bossert with the pass up to Townsend. Back setting for Burns. Roll shot, but an overpass there by the Pioneers, and that's going to be a violation against Zane Trace in the net. 7-2 Adena. Hannah Burns back on the service line with a 5-point lead here in set 3. Tough serve. Nice pass by Hill. Scott coming over. Tipped over by Barry. Fogelsong out of the middle. And that's going to be a kill. 14 kills for Fogelsong, 8-2 Adena.
Well, a lot of English on that ball. She spiked it, but it was hard to handle.
Burns again on the serve, out of bounds wide. 8-3. Adena hasn't missed many serves today.
No, they've had a good day on serve. And serve receive. They played both sides of it pretty well.
Farley to serve for the Pioneers. McQuinnif with a pass up to Townsend. Fogelsong in the middle. Dug up there by Farley. In the middle, Henniger swinging away. Blocked in play. Warriors tip it right back over. Kept alive by Zane Trace. Fogelsong again. Tips it. Dug up by the Pioneers. Warriors coming back again. Kruger blocked in play by Zane Trace. Fogelsong with a backhand attack. Outside, Lexi Scott. Dug up by Brooke Bossert. Outside, Eva Kruger. Out of bounds long.
Zane Trace winning that battle. That was a nice go at it that time, but Zane Trace coming on top.
8-4, Pioneers within 4. Alexis Farley again to serve. McQuiniff with the pass. Vogelsong out of the middle. Swinging away. Blocked, but kicks it right back over. May out to Lexi Scott. Roll shot. Kept alive by the Warriors. Back and forth we go. Back row attack by Burns in the net. 8-5. He tried to fake with Vogelsong and went back to Burns, but Hannah pulled it in the net. Zane Trace on a 3-0 run. Back to 8-5. Outside Kruger. Nice play by Zane Trace to keep that one alive. Now Vogelsong in the middle. Dug up by Farley. Tipped over by the Pioneers. Townsend outside Kruger. Her tip shot. Dug up by May. Tight to the net. Out of bounds. Overpass by Henniger. And that stops a 3-0 Zane Trace run and gives the Warriors a 9-5 lead here in set 3. And they won 25-20, 26-24 to get a 2-0 lead. Must win for Zane Trace to stay alive. Townsend with a serve. Barry to Scott. Blocked in play by the Warriors. Now hammered over by Kruger. Dug up by May. Out of the middle, Henniger. And that's a kill. Found the deep corner. Micah with 3 kills. 9-6.
Townsend made an effort there, but she was just a little behind on that one.
Barry back to serve. Trailing by 3. Bossert. Ace. 9-7. Delaney Barry with the ace serve pulls the Pioneers back to within 2. Barry again to serve. Popped up. Warriors will have to roll it deep by Katie Burns. Dug up by Hill. Now Lexi Scott. Hit it long.
Michael, who made that last ace?
Barry. Barry for Zane Trace. 10-7 Adena on the hitting error by Lexi Scott. Carly Battle in the serve for the Warriors. Tough serve. Popped up by a Hill. Free ball by Adena. Townsend in the middle. Attack by Preston. Dug up by the Pioneers. Scott with the push. Dug up by Burns. Outside Kruger. Blocked in play by Zane Trace. Kruger again. Cross court. Dug up by Hill. Lexi Scott on the slide and a kill.
Nice
8 kills for Scott.
Nice move.
10-8. Pioneers within 2. And back to serve for the Pioneers is Lexi Scott, trailing by 2. Burns with a pass. Back setting. Kruger with a rocket and a kill. 7 for Kruger. 11-8 Adena. Now Kruger back to serve. Three-point Adena lead. McCullough pops it up, going outside to Detillion with a roll shot, blocked in play by the Warriors, goes deep. Bossert keeps it alive. Townsend outside to Hannah Burns, and a block for Zane Trace. 11-9. Gracie McCullough back to serve as the Pioneers are back to within 2. And the Warriors keep it alive. Outside it goes. Detillion dug up by Bossert. Outside to Hannah Burns. Blocked in play by Zane Trace. Back out to Hannah Burns again. A roll shot. Dug up by Barry. Outside Detillion. Cross-court shot for the kill.
Tell you, Zane Trace is having success on that angle shot across court. They've gotten 2 or 3 really significant kills there. That's really helped them stay right here.
11-10. Pioneers back to within 1 after they were down by 3. Outside attack. Hannah Burns off the block. Kept alive by Zane Trace. Lexi Scott with the attack and a kill. We're tied at 11.
That was a good, obvious second effort there. Made a big difference.
11 all. 3-0 run by the Pioneers. McCullough again to serve. Outside, Hannah Burns with a roll shot. Overpass by Zane Trace, and nobody for Adena went for the ball. Point for Zane Trace, and the Pioneers take a 12-11 lead. You're watching high school tournament volleyball, the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
Carlos. First time setting foot inside a tattoo shop. Second picture his daughter has posted to her story. Third check on his bucket list. And 4 years of cancer-free checkups at OhioHealth.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings.
Parked along the way, sleeping.
Mike and Tom back. Waverly High School. Zane Trace on a 4-0 run after trailing 11-8, now lead 12-11.
Well, this kind of resembles the second set, and see what the end result's going to be here in number 3.
McCullough to serve. Going outside to Hannah Burns, and she gets a kill. That's 10 for Burns, 12-12.
Her hitting percentage has got to be high, though. She's not had all that many opportunities, but she's got 10 kills.
Brenna McQuinnif goes back to serve. 12-12 here in set 3. Adena up 2 sets to none. But it's been close the whole way, and McQuinnif serves it in the net.
Not a lot of serving arrows today, but that was a big one.
13-12, Zane Trace. Kinley May back to serve for the Pioneers with a 1-point lead. Hannah Burns has to fade away on that one. Kept alive by McCullough. Great play. Tipped over by Zane Trace. Now out of the middle, Preston off the block. McCullough with a dig. Kendra Detillion kept alive by Burns. Now Burns with a roll shot. Blocked in play by Zane Trace, and Farley up to win the joust. Farley with 9 kills. 14-12, Zane Trace. 2-point Pioneer lead. And a must-win set 3 for them. Tipped by Burns, blocked by Farley.
Well, Farley's been a big part of this match so far. She's done a great job.
15-12.
How many kills is that for her?
9.
That's pretty good.
Meg in the serve, long, out of bounds. Point Adena, 15-13, Zane Trace. Well, Zane Trace had it going for him there. Now back down to 2. Brooke Bossert to serve for the Warriors. And that is an ace. 15-14. Adena back to within 1.
That's Brooks' second ace of the match.
Bossert again serving. Pioneer 1-point lead. Barry in the middle to Farley. Tipped. Kept alive by the Warriors. Roll shot by Kruger. Barry outside to Detillion, and Kendra hit it in the net. 15-all. And Bossert still serving. Bossert, tough serve. McCullough tight to the net. Played over. Warriors keep it alive. Out of the middle. Farley hit it out of bounds. She went. Alexis sent a speed ball to that right corner, and it actually hit the referee's feet, which obviously means it was out of bounds. 16-15 Adena. Back setting for Detillion in the net. Point Adena. Wow. 17-15.
Things change.
Pioneers had a 3-point lead, and now Adena on a 5-0 run. Bossert again to serve. McCullough pops it up. This will have to be a free ball by Zane Trace. Townsend in the middle of Fogelsong. Kill.
You know, though, when you stop and think about these matches, Zane Trace has been down to begin with every time.
Yeah.
And in this particular one, they were down 6-zip before they got a point. And, boy, that's hard to make up.
18-15, Adena. Bossert again with a serve. This one's out of bounds long. 18-16.
That ball took on a little air.
So
flying out of here.
That was a 6-0 run for Adena after trailing 15-12. Zane Trace with the serve. Reagan Hill trailing by 2. Warriors on the attack. It's Fogelsong. Kept in play, but it goes in the net. Fogelsong with a kill.
Great effort there by Hill, but she was clear back at the back of the line back there and just tried to get it somewhere in play.
19-16, Adena. Burns with the serve. May with a pass up tight to the net, taken over by Barry. Now Fogelsong out of the middle and another kill.
She's been tough to handle. The whole season she's been tough to handle.
20-16, Adena. Timeout, Zane Trace. Adena up 2-0 and leading 20-16 in set 3. Let's take an opportunity to look at some stats here. Fogelsong on that last kill. That gives her 17 to lead all players. Hannah Burns has 10. Eva Kruger with 7. Brinley Preston with 5. For Zane Trace, Lexi Scott has 9 kills, as does Alexis Farley. Kendra Detillion and Micah Henniger have 3 apiece. May with 2. Barry and Laney Scott have 1 apiece.
And you look at the serving. We talked about it. Team aces. Adena with 6. Zane Trace with 3. And that's been a big part of from the very beginning of this match. Adena's had very successful serving. And they have 2 by Bossert. That's Brooke. They got 2 by Hannah Burns. 1 apiece for Grace Townsend and Eva Cougar. And 2 by Grayson McCullough and 1 by Barry, Delaney Barry.
20-16, Adena. Hannah Burns to serve for the Warriors. Zane Trace needs a service break right here in the worst way. Burns serves. Nice pass by May. Barry back setting for Farley. Kept in play, tipped over the Warriors. Lexi Scott going deep in the corner. Bossert with it. Now Fogelsong on the slide and a roll shot kill.
Well, she's had several of those today. She just put them in the right spot and made it very, very tough for Zane Trace to cover.
21-16 Adena. 4 points away from a district title, but Zane Trace has battled all afternoon from these deficits to make comebacks. Burns serves. May with a nice pass. Outside Lexi Scott. Hit it out of bounds. 22-16 Adena.
With Rowley scoring, you get down 6 this late in the set. It's really hard to fight back.
Burns again to serve. May with another nice pass. Going outside to Lexi Scott and
Good
a kill.
shot.
That was big.
That was big.
They needed that one. 22-17. Cuts the Adena lead to 5. Alexis Berry back to serve. McCullough comes out.
Farley.
I'm sorry. Alexis Farley to serve. Adena pops it up on the serve receive. They're going to have to push it over. And then Zane Trace has to free ball. Out of the middle. Fogelsong with a hit and a kill.
When it's showtime, she seems to show up.
23-17. 19 kills for Fogelsong. She had 27 in their 4-set match at Frankfurt here just a few weeks ago. Townsend to serve. Hill pops it up. Outside to Henniger. Roll shot. Dug up by Burns. Out of the middle, Fogelsong with a tip. Dug up by McCullough. Lexi Scott. Dug up by Bossert. Out of the middle, Fogelsong. And another kill. And it's match point for Adena. 24-17. 20 kills for Fogelsong. And I think that might be Gracie McCullough's 1,000th career dig.
Well, she's been great. She's taken that position back there as a libero, and she could play anywhere on the court.
Been a while, but her mom played for Laura Smith at Adena quite a few years ago.
Mom and Dad pretty proud. She took
Yeah.
that ball right up there and delivered to Mom.
I don't think Mom ever had 1,000 digs, but congratulations to Gracie. But we are at match point, 24-17, Adena, 1 point away from the district championship. So during that ball presentation, Adena took the opportunity to take a timeout. I don't know if they actually officially called a timeout, but they took one.
They must have, because they haven't called them back on the course. They must have took a timeout.
So the Warriors are 1 point away. Grace Townsend to serve. Trying for a 3-set sweep against their arch rival Zane Trace. Townsend to serve. Here it comes. Pass by May. In the middle, Lexi Scott with a roll shot. Dug up by Townsend. Katie Burns with a set out to Kruger. Blocked in play by Zane Trace. Fogelsong with a roll shot. Dug up by May. Outside, Lexi Scott. And a kill. Lexi keeps them alive, 24-18. That is 11 kills for Scott. Still match point. Barry to serve for the Pioneers. Outside, Fogelsong swinging away. Dug up there again by Barry. Roll shot dug by Burns. Out of the middle, Fogelsong dug up by Zane Trace. An overpass, and Adena puts it away.
Kruger put it down.
Carlos. First time setting foot inside a tattoo shop. Second picture his daughter has posted to her story. Third check on his bucket list. And 4 years of cancer-free checkups at OhioHealth.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it.
But Carson Francis will have updates on our SOSA Twitter site throughout the course of the afternoon and evening to let you know how that's coming along. And the SOC on the small division side, Portsmouth Notre Dame is still going. They're playing over at Southeastern in the Lone Division 4 District Championship. That's a 6 o'clock start over at Southeastern. And again, SOSA will keep you up to date on everything that's happening there. Anything, Thomas, you want to wrap up with before we say goodbye?
I don't think we were disappointed. We saw two good matches today, and a lot of effort by these kids, and good fan support. We had a lot of fans at both particular matches, and so it'll be interesting to see how well Wheelersburg and Adena matches up, and they play Thursday night. So.
And again, as far as post-game comments and so forth, Southern Ohio Sports Authority will have more on that on their Twitter site and Facebook later in the day and evening, so keep checking back there. Certainly, again, a major shout-out to our guys with us, Carson Francis, our producer, Christian Spradlin, our camera guy. They have been outstanding, very patient with us old men all day, and I tell you what, we couldn't have done it without them, because this is our first day on the job, so to speak. Anything you gotta do for the first time, there's a learning curve, and they were the guys that made it all come together. We certainly want to thank them and thank all of our great sponsors through Southern Ohio Sports Authority. And again, if you want to get on board with what's left in football and whatever we're covering in basketball season coming up, give Southern Ohio Sports Authority a call. So for Carson Francis, Christian Spradlin, for Tom Beard, this is Mike Smith saying you have been watching Ohio High School Tournament Volleyball on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.